Is the Six God finally falling out of favor with the powers that be, or is he the victim of the biggest industry hit job in history? Grab your popcorn, because the legal war between Drake and Universal Music Group, UMG, just took a turn so messy even 50 Cent is probably taking notes. We're talking about 117-page appeals, secret amicus briefs from Ivy League scholars, and allegations of bots, payola, and cold-blooded betrayal. Drake is claiming UMG turned their back on him to turn Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us" into a viral weapon. But now, the smartest legal minds in the country are pushing back, and they're using Drake's own words to do it. For over a decade, Drake was the undisputed golden boy of Universal Music Group. He wasn't just an artist, he was the economy. But everything changed in 2024 when "Not Like Us" didn't just top the charts, it became a cultural exorcism. Now, it's April 2026, and while the rest of the world is still dancing to that beat, Drake is in a high-stakes legal battle that could change the music industry forever. He's suing UMG, claiming they didn't just release Kendrick's diss track, they engineered its success to destroy him. But as of April 3, 2026, two groups of heavy-hitting legal scholars, including experts from Yale Law School and the Floyd Abrams Institute, have officially stepped into the ring.
That Drake consented to the allegedly defamatory statements, barring his lawsuit under established defamation law.
And they aren't on Drake's side. They're telling the Court of Appeals that Drake's lawsuit isn't just weak, it's dangerous to the very art form of hip-hop. To understand why Drake is so pressed in 2026, we have to look back at the "Not Like Us" trauma. When Kendrick Lamar dropped that track in May 2024, it wasn't just a song, it was a series of allegations that shook the industry. Kendrick called Drake a certified pedophile and accused his OVO crew of being a predatory ring. Drake didn't just take it on the chin. He filed a legal petition through his company, Frozen Moments LLC, claiming UMG and Spotify used illegal schemes to make the song go viral. He alleged, botting, that UMG used click farms to inflate the numbers. Payola, that they paid off radio stations and influencers to keep the song on a 24/7 loop. Deceptive rates, that Spotify gave UMG drastically reduced rates to push the song onto every playlist on the planet. UMG's response? They called the claims offensive, absurd, and contrived. But Drake isn't backing down. He's acting like a man who knows something we don't. Is he being paranoid, or did the label really decide that Kendrick was a better horse to bet on? In October 2025, a federal judge named Jeanette Vargas threw Drake's lawsuit out. She basically told him, "Look, Aubrey, this is a rap battle. People say mean things. It's opinion, not fact." But Drake wouldn't let it go. In January 2026, he filed a massive 117-page appeal. His lawyers are arguing that the judge made a huge mistake. They say "Not Like Us" isn't just a diss track, it's a targeted defamation campaign. Drake's legal team is focusing on what they call republications. They're arguing that even if the song was opinion during the rap battle, UMG turned it into fact when they promoted it at the Grammys, the Super Bowl, and even political rallies. They claim millions of people who don't even follow rap, grandparents, kids, people from different cultures, heard Kendrick call Drake a pedophile on the world's biggest stages and took it as gospel. Drake's argument is essentially, you took a private fight and turned it into a global smear campaign for profit. This is where it gets spicy. On April 3, 2026, two groups of scholars filed what's called an amicus brief, that's legal speak for friend of the court advice. These aren't just random fans, we're talking about the Floyd Abrams Institute for Freedom of Expression. Their argument? Drake consented to the fight. The scholars pointed directly to Drake's own songs, specifically Tailor-Made Freestyle and Family Matters. They reminded the court that Drake literally dared Kendrick to respond. In Tailor-Made, Drake used AI voices of Snoop Dogg and Tupac to taunt Kendrick, basically saying, "What's taking so long? Drop the receipts." The legal scholars are arguing a consent defense. If you jump into a boxing ring and get punched in the face, you can't sue the referee or the stadium for assault. You signed up for the fight. They wrote, the challenger consented to the fight, and consent is a classic defense. Drake specifically invited the lyrics he has challenged in court. Ouch. Imagine being told by Yale law scholars that you basically bullied yourself into a defamation suit. But the scholars didn't stop there. They called Drake out for being astoundingly hypocritical. Remember the Protect Black Art movement? A few years ago, Drake was one of the loudest voices saying that rap lyrics should never be used as evidence in court. He signed petitions saying that music is art, hyperbole, and fiction, not literal truth. Well, the scholars are now using that against him. They're saying Drake is trying to have it both ways. When it's his lyrics, it's art. But when Kendrick says something Drake doesn't like, suddenly it's a factual representation that requires a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. The scholars warn that if Drake wins this appeal, it will destroy hip-hop. Why? Because every time a rapper loses a battle, they'll just sue the label for defamation. It would turn the sport of rap into a playground for lawyers. Now, let's talk about the industry politics. Lucian Grange, the CEO of UMG, is arguably the most powerful man in music. For years, he and Drake were like father and son. Drake even shouted him out on tracks. So why is UMG calling Drake a sore loser in their latest legal filings? In their 83-page response from March 30, 2026, UMG didn't hold back. They said Drake is trying to turn the law upside down just because he lost a beef. Some insiders think this is a strategic move by UMG to distance themselves from Drake as his commercial peak starts to level off. Think about it, Kendrick Lamar is now a Pulitzer Prize winner, a Super Bowl headliner, and the moral compass of the culture. Drake, meanwhile, is embroiled in lawsuits and creepy allegations. Is UMG cleaning house? We've seen this happen before. Look at how the industry turned on Diddy or how Roc Nation, as Nicki Minaj claims, allegedly blackballs anyone who doesn't fall in line. 50 Cent has been warning us for decades, the label is your friend until you aren't the top earner anymore. Even though the scholars are focusing on the free speech part, Drake's fans, the OVO goons, are still obsessed with the botting allegations. Drake's team claimed that in the first 24 hours, Not Like Us had suspicious streaming patterns. They pointed to the fact that the song was being pushed into sleep and yoga playlists on Spotify, places where a high-energy West Coast diss track definitely doesn't belong. Spotify hit back hard, saying they only spent about €500 on a marquee ad in France. But Drake isn't buying it. He believes UMG used their deep state industry connections to ensure Kendrick didn't just win, but that Drake was erased. The spooky part? 50 Cent actually backed Drake up on this.
Bots, payola to deceive consumers into believing the song was more popular.
On the Flagrant podcast, 50 said, everything he said, UMG, did in that lawsuit, they did it. That's how the machine works. When the king of industry trolling says you're being played by the machine, you might want to listen. The Court of Appeals is expected to make a final ruling later this year. If Drake loses this appeal, which the legal scholars say is almost certain, he's in a dangerous spot. Financial ruin? Probably not, he's too rich. But the legal fees alone are astronomical. The exit strategy, many people believe Drake is doing this specifically to get out of his UMG contract. If he can prove they harmed him, he might be able to trigger a no-fault split and go fully independent or sign a billion-dollar deal elsewhere. The legacy hit, if the court officially rules that Kendrick's lyrics were protected opinion because Drake consented to the battle, it's the ultimate legal stamp on his L. It becomes official government record that he got cooked. This isn't just a celebrity gossip story anymore, it's a battle for the soul of the music industry. On one side, you have Drake, who feels betrayed by the company he made billions for. He's fighting against the machine, the bots, and the fake viral moments. On the other side, you have UMG and the legal elite, who say Drake is just a sore loser, trying to sue his way out of a cultural defeat. They argue that if Drake wins, nobody will ever be able to speak their truth in a song again without getting a subpoena. So, let's hear it. Do you think Drake is being blackballed by UMG and Lucian Grange? Or is he just mad that Kendrick Lamar made the whole world call him a certified lover boy in a way he couldn't come back from? Is the machine real, or is Drake just trying to sue the person who looked him in the eye and told the truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are you Team OVO and fighting the botpocalypse, or are you with the scholars and Kendrick, protecting the right to not like who you want? Stay tuned, because as this appeal moves through the Second Circuit, more industry secrets are bound to leak. We might finally find out what really goes on behind the closed doors of those $100 million UMG boardrooms. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We're tracking every single court filing in the Drake vs. the World saga. See you in the next one.